listeners, and welcome to the fourth program in our series, Let's Learn Mathematics. These programs are produced for grade 8 learners and anybody else who has an interest in the subject. My name is Esme Roux. This will be the fourth lesson of a series on algebraic expressions and formula. It is very important that you have a notebook and pen with you so that you can make notes of the examples I give you. If you don't have a notebook and pen yet, quickly run and get it. And don't forget to answer the question at the end of the program. This program is the fourth of a series of 5 lessons based on algebraic expressions and formula. By the end of this program, you should be able to construct simple formula from practical situations. For example, the cost C of n apples at x cents each as C equals nx. Let's get ready and hear what Susan, Nicole and the tutor have for us today.
Hi Susan, how did it go with the questions Ms. Roux gave us last time?
Nicole, can you please repeat the questions?
The question goes like this. When x equals to 4 and y equals to -3, evaluate the following. Part A, 2x minus 3y, and Part B, 3x to the power of 2.
My answer for part A is 17, and for part B, it is 48.
For A, I also got 17, but for B, I got 24.
Okay, let's go to Miss Roux and find out which are the correct answers. We must also ask her to help us with the other questions we got from Mr. Johannes.
All right, let's go.
Good afternoon, girls. Please come in.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How did it go with the questions I gave you last time?
Miss, for part A, we got the same answer, but for part B, our answers are different.
Okay, sit down. Then we can look at both of your answers to find out what the correct one. Susan, what is your answer for part A?
I got 17.
Yes, that is correct. And part B, Nicole?
For B, I got 24, but Susan got 48.
48 is the correct answer. Susan, can you quickly explain how you got 48?
Okay, ma'am. We have to substitute 4 in the place of x. So we have 3, open bracket, 4, close bracket, to the power of 2. 4 to the power of 2 is 16, and 16 times 3 is 48.
Oh, now I see. My mistake. I didn't square 4. I multiplied by 2.
Yes, Nicole. That is a very common mistake learners make. Please remember, when a number is to the power of 2, you have to multiply that number by itself.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll make sure I always take note of that.
All right. So, how can I help you today?
Ma'am, Mr. Johannes gave us these problems to solve. The first one is, the cost, C, of pens is P cents, and the cost of erasers is E cents. Write a formula in terms of C, P, and E for the cost of 5 pens and 11 erasers.
Okay, let me just read it once more for clarity. The cost, C, of pens is P cents and the cost of erasers is E cents. Write a formula in terms of C, P, and E for the cost of 5 pens and 11 erasers.
I've read that several times, but I still don't know where to start, ma'am.
Don't worry, Nicole. Let's do it together now, step by step. If a pen cost P cents, how much will 5 pens cost?
I really don't understand how to work that out, ma'am.
Look here, girls. Remember, I once told you that if you are doing algebra and it sounds very complicated, replace the variable with a number. So let me ask it this way. If a pen costs $2, how much will 5 pens cost?
Oh, that's easy. It's $10.
Exactly. How did you get $10?
Because $2 times 5 pens is $10.
Right. Now, what do you do if the pen costs P cents and you must write the cost of 5 pence?
We multiply P by 5, so it is 5P.
Good. Now, what about the erasers?
If one eraser cost E cents, 11 erasers will cost 11 E cents.
Great! Now you are both getting there. Now that we know 5 pens cost 5p cents and 11 erasers cost 11 E cents, we have to write them as the cost of pens and erasers.
So the cost is C.
Yes, the cost is C.
Then cost is equal to the sum of pens and erasers.
That's right, Nicole. How do we write this as an algebraic formula?
C is equal to 5p plus 11e.
Do you agree, Nicole?
Absolutely, ma'am. I agree. C equals 5p plus 11e.
Great. Now, let's move on. What is your next question?
The length of a sausage is y centimeters. Jason cuts x centimeters from each end. Write the new length L in terms of L, y, and x.
Let's just make sure we all get the question right. The length of a sausage is y centimeters. Jason cuts x centimeters from each end. Write the new length L in terms of L, y, and x.
Let me try, ma'am. If Jason cuts x centimeters from each end, he cuts 2x.
Yes, Nicole. So how will you write the new length?
If length was y and he cuts 2x from it, I'll write it as y minus 2x.
Very good. Then, how will the whole formula look like, Susan?
I think it will be L equals y minus 2x.
That's right, Susan. It will be L equals y minus 2x. Do you have another example?
Yes, ma'am. Anna's father is 3 times as old as she is. Anna is 8 years old. Her brother is 5 years older. S is the sum of their ages. The question is, write down the sum of their ages in terms of S and A.
Okay, let me repeat that. Anna's father is 3 times as old as she is. Anna is 8 years old. Her brother is 5 years older. S is the sum of their ages. Write down the sum of their ages in terms of S and A. Let's see. How many people do we have altogether?
There are 3 people. It's Anna, her father, and her brother.
Yes, that's right. And it is very important that you see that. We are first going to write the ages of all 3 people. How old is Anna in terms of A?
Anna is 8 years old.
Yes. If Anna is 8 years old and her father is 3 times as old, how old is her father?
3 times as old means her father is 3a.
Correct. And then her brother is 5 years older. So how will you write that?
5 years older, then Anna will be 5 plus A.
Wonderful. Now, we should put them all together. S is the sum of all their ages. Susan, how will you write it?
S is equal to Anna plus father plus brother. So, S is equal to A plus 3A plus A plus 5.
Yes, that is correct, Susan. You girls are doing very well and I am proud of you. Now, before we close our discussion, let me give you another question for homework. Please write it down. The breadth of a rectangle is half its length. If the breadth is x centimeters, find, in terms of x, the length of the rectangle and b, the perimeter of the rectangle. I'll repeat the question. The breadth of a rectangle is half its length. If the breadth is x centimeters, find, in terms of x, a, the length of the rectangle and b, the perimeter of the rectangle.
Thank you, ma'am. See you next time.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, girls. Dear listeners, here is a quick recap of the lesson. Today, we learned how to write formula from practical situations. Here is the first example. The cost C of pens is P cents and the cost of erasers is E cents. Write a formula in terms of C, P and E for the cost of 5 pens and 11 erasers. Remember what I said to the girls. If all the letters of the variables confuses you, just replace the variables with a number and take it from there. To determine the price of 5 pence, I said, what if a pen costs $2? How will you write the price of 5 pence? It will be 2 times 5. So 5 pence will cost $10. Now you do exactly the same with the variable. 5 pence cost 5p cents and 11 erasers cost 11 cents. So the total cost C is equal to 5p plus 11e. In the second example, we had the length of a sausage is y centimeters. Jason cuts x centimeters from each end. Write the new length L in terms of L, y and x. If Jason cuts x centimeters from each end, it means that he cuts 2x because there are 2 ends. The original length was y, so the new length will be L equals y minus 2x. In the third example, we had Anna's father is 3 times as old as she is. Anna is 8 years old. Her brother is 5 years older. S is the sum of their ages. Write down the sum of their ages in terms of S and A. In this example, we had 3 different ages, but each age should be written in terms of A. So you write down, Anna is 8 years old. Father is 3 times as old as Anna, so he will be 3a years old. Brother is 5 years older than Anna, so he will be a plus 5 years old. To find the sum, S, just add everything together. So it will be S is equal to a plus 3a plus a plus 5. And that brings us to the end of today's program. But before we say goodbye, here is your question for today. It is the same question that Nicole and Susan must answer. Please write them down. The breadth of a rectangle is half its length. If the breadth is x centimeters, find in terms of x the length of the rectangle and b the perimeter of the rectangle. I will repeat the question. The breadth of a rectangle is half its length. If the breadth is x centimeters, find in terms of x the length of the rectangle and b the perimeter of the rectangle. This program was written by Esme Roo, so until next time, take care.
This program was brought to you by NAMCOL with funding from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture and the Commonwealth of Learning.